Questions?
Yeah, I mean, the difference in the game is basically, uh, on the mound, we didn't give many free passes. We didn't walk anyone. Um, they walked, it looks like they walked 8 and hit us into 4 times. So that's 12 free passes, mix in 4 home runs, and that's how you scored 11 runs. And we didn't get, I mean, I don't know, we might have had a single or two, but, we, when we hit it hard. And did a good job at the plate, making their pitchers throw a lot of pitches. I mean, the first inning, Stuber had to throw like 41 pitches, which is amazing. And I don't know how many pitches Holt saw in that at bat, but I know it was double digits. And especially after already a long inning, it was going to be tough to bring him back. And I don't know what their plan was with him anyway, but really good job by the hitters as far as just getting deep into the count, battling a little bit, and getting pitch counts up. And then obviously, having a couple of big innings. And I tell our guys, especially in the SEC, it's hard to get 3 hits in an inning. If you're gonna have a big inning, usually it's because they walk a couple people, maybe they make an error, and then you hit a home run or something. That's how you score a lot of runs quick. But uh, proud of our team. We had a tough loss on Saturday. Gave them Sunday off. Some guys came up and lifted, did some things on their own. Yesterday I had a light workout with the whole team, which was nice to be able to do that on a Monday before a Tuesday game. And, we talked about how it was going to be really cold, talked about how it was the game before we play another SEC series and a big series. And I thought they came out and did a really nice job for us.
What do you think of Ben?
I thought Bobby was really good. Velocity was good. Location for the most part was pretty good. I felt like the ball was coming out of his hand good. He threw some good change up to a couple of their left-handers. He's got the breaking ball when it's on, it's good. And he mixed. And he didn't he didn't finish a couple of hitters off. Had an opportunity to maybe throw a breaking ball in the dirt or something, and he would tell you he left a couple of pitches up that could have finished some guys off with 2 strikes. But other than that, I thought he threw the ball really well.
He and Carter both seem to pitch well for you today. I know you've got Hunter Dietz potentially coming back. How good maybe do you feel about the prospects of your bullpen once you get all of those back? Kind of done.
I feel good. I feel good about maybe getting a little bit of experience, so to speak. Bobby's sophomore, pitched in some tough situations last year for us as a freshman. Carter was, he saved us there for a while early when we were having all the injuries. And, he doesn't get rattled. And it was good to see the ball jumping out of his hand about 93. And the thing is, it's awfully cold down there. And, these guys were still bringing it pretty good and commanded it pretty good. So, maybe have an opportunity to get another pitcher back, and it just makes us a little bit stronger.
Ivy, do you like him in his starting role, or do you envision like using him also out of the bullpen on the weekends, or do you want him to kind of focus on being a starter for?
I like him either way. I mean, I like him starting, but I don't have a problem if he came in as a middle reliever and, started, piggybacked off somebody and went 4 or 5 innings. But, today threw around 50 pitches, and that's really all we wanted him to throw. I mean, he could have gone back for more, but again, we're still trying to figure out how to get this roster squared away, and it'll probably fluctuate from weekend to weekend. And but it was really just good to see him pitch good. This is first outing of the year in a real game, as far as I know. So, good for him and good for us.
And Aloy, earlier when y'all played in the cold to start the season, you kind of indicated Aloy wasn't a big fan of it, but today didn't really seem to bother him. What did you think of his performance?
It's probably because I've been giving him a hard time about it. Now he wanted to prove me wrong, but he had a great day. I think he had 3 hits, drove in 4 or 5 runs, and it was really good to see him, feeling a little bit at the plate, laying off some borderline pitches early in the count. And you can see him slowly getting there where, he's not chasing hits anymore. He's just pressed, and now he's just like, hey, I'll take what they give me. And just like the ball hit out of the park. He took a pitch before that, and then he got another one that wasn't quite as good. Hung it just a little bit, and he hammered it. So good for him.
Yeah, Dave, Little Rock's got a lot of veteran hitters. And you're throwing your midweek guys. You didn't have any walks, shut them out. Just what do you think it says about your pitching depth?
Well, the pitching depth is really good, obviously, and I mean it's a battle down there in that building. When I say the building, the pitcher's area to get on, get the ball, and I think that's one reason we're so good. They're competing against each other every day in the weight room, long tossing, fielding the ball on bunt coverages. I mean, they feel like they're being evaluated, and I think it's making them better. And yeah, I feel like they're all friends, but they all want to pitch too, so they're fighting to get their innings. And so it says that we have depth, and some of these guys, like you said, they've been sick or hurt a little bit, and we might added 3 more pitchers this week, which would be great.
You said, I guess Saturday, almost said Sunday's game, that depending on what happened today, you might add some guys to the roster for LSU. I guess you still have to think about that, but did some guys help themselves today?
Yeah. Well, nobody hurt themselves, that's for sure. And, we'll just kind of make sure everybody's okay the next day or so before we turn that roster in at 6:30 on a Thursday night.
Sorry, I got here a minute late. I was talking to Chris, but it's 4-0 game. So, you haven't broken it open yet. And then you obviously did there in the 6th, seeing all those home runs. Just what was that inning like for you watching from the dugout?
Well, we felt like we should have scored a few more runs earlier in the game. And so we were a little frustrated, just kind of missing that one big hit. Peyton got a big hit. There were no outs. He went down and hit a pitch away and hammered it from 2 to 4, doubled our lead. And then, we still had no outs and we're still hitting. I don't, really wanted to tack another run on that inning, and hit 4th, 5th. We didn't score either. One inning we had a runner at first and second and 1 out, middle of the order up, and we didn't move him at all, which was frustrating. But then, to put together a big inning like we did in the 7th. And again, it was walks and hit by pitch and guys being patient, fouling off pitches. And, all of a sudden we had 2 runners in scoring position and no out. In one swing, we scored 4. So that's the way it works. That's one reason we've got 20 wins right now, is because we throw strikes and we don't give away too much.
At left field, it seems like it's like a different guy every week. That's kind of the hot bat or the one that emerged a little bit. Now you have Wagner emerging at DH a little bit. Is this the toughest or like latest into the season that you've had to sort out some of these position battles?
Yeah, I guess in a way, I would say maybe over the last couple of years. But it's a good issue. I'm not even going to call it a problem. I can platoon guys. I can, move people around. Today, I just wanted to get Edmondson a few more at bats, and we've got a really good defensive center fielder that I know is going to hit a little more than he has, and Edmondson, doesn't cover the ground that he does, but he can swing it a little bit, and you kind of know what you're getting with Edmondson. You're going to get usually 1 hit a game and maybe a walk, and pretty good on base percentage. But left field's been a couple right-handed hitters and left-handed hitter, and it's I wish somebody would just take that position and just start tearing it up. I don't even have to think about it, but right now we'll just kind of look for the matchup probably.
This was Wagner's first game, I think, since March 3rd. I believe I heard you say on pregame radio he might have been dealing with an injury.
Yeah, he was hurt. He fouled a ball off his foot right before one of our games or series, and we didn't put him on the roster as far as a 27-man. Maybe before the Missouri series, might have been before that. I kind of run it together. We're trying to get some guys some at bats that hadn't played a lot against some of our pitchers that needed a pitch, and it was inside, and he fouled one straight off top of his foot. So that threw him back a little bit, and so it was good to see him, to hit that pitch today with 2 strikes, and I really liked the swing. It was kind of short and compact, and it didn't matter which way the wind was blowing. That ball was going out of the park where he hit it.
The obstruction call in the first inning, they challenge it and then you get them. Did you say anything to the umpire as he was going to make sure to look for that?
We kind of made a comment about, him blocking the base. So we're going to let them do what they did. And if they came out and said something, I was going to see if I could challenge it the other way, but that's a little bit of a scary situation. If you want to challenge that, if you're in the field and your shortstop, second baseman saying, he didn't get back to the base. Well, why didn't he get back to the base? If you want to block the base, you better have the ball in your glove. So if he threw that knee down or something down before he caught that ball, then that's obstruction. And so they saw that. I didn't even have to ask him to do it. That's what we were talking about.
Obviously LSU this weekend. First off, just Hagan versus Luke Holman. I mean, how exciting of a pitching
I
matchup
think
is
we're
that?
going to talk about that tomorrow.
Are we?
Yeah. No, because I want to get through this game and then you guys can ask me 50 questions tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow.
We like it better that way.
Yeah, I knew. Oh, you can only ask one, Bob.
I'll make it a real long
Yeah. What's new?
one.
All right.
I guess for Wagner, for somebody who transferred in and, this is probably his last year in college baseball, just what are the conversations like when he's, getting his first playing time in 3 odd weeks?
Well, he's been great in the dugout. He has been very mature about it. I met with him like 3 weeks ago about some things and, he hadn't played a lot since. He got hurt, somebody else doing well, whatever. And he didn't come in and, I'd always text me, hey, can we talk? One of those things. He knew that he had to, keep fighting. He was going to get his chance. I mean, he hadn't played in a conference game yet. And, I really, really wanted to get him a start today, see what he could do. His first at bat, he gets jammed, but some good base running. We hit a sac fly on a ball that bloops in. That one is hard to square up. And then he's got another one or two, but I think that could be the difference maker for him. And it might even be a career maker for him if he can get that sinker going up with that velocity.
You said you think you've added 3 pitchers. Who are you referencing?
Well, there's 3 guys through tonight.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that we're going to put all 3 of them on the roster this week. And I don't know. It depends on if they're going to be able to pitch this week and, how do they feel? Who are we going to take off? You look at LSU's hitters, what do they hit, left or right, but bottom line, we've got some options and, we got Arkansas State next Tuesday, I think. And so some guys don't pitch it this weekend. Hopefully it goes well for us. Then they'll throw on Tuesday. And it's a long season. A lot of things happen.
And how happy are you with what Stone Hewlett's doing for you? Because it seems like every time you go to him, he gets the job done.
Yeah, he's I think, I was looking at his numbers today. You think lefties were 0 for 7 against him going into today. So now they're 0 for 8. Or maybe it was the other way. Maybe it was right-handers were 0 for 7. But anyway, he's been really good, and we were worried a little bit about throwing him against right-handers in the fall because our righties hit him. Our lefties really didn't. But right now, he's getting them both out. So what he is, he's just a good pitcher. So, pitch him. That's what we're going to do.